main objective. Why we okay? Uh, what should when should a risk assessment to be done? How do you plan for risk assessment? Okay. So, and what stages the risk assessment should be planned, and the examples of risk assessment. I'll be showing you the risk assessment document also in what we have done in real time, what I have done, what I'm the part of it while I'm doing it. Okay. So, how are risk ranked or prioritized? Okay, fine. So here we have the risk assessment, which is defined in a appropriate way. So, see, risk assessment is a thorough look at your workplace to identify those things, situations, process, etc., that may cause harm, particularly to people. Okay, so in the first three lines, what he's saying, he's saying about identification. What he's saying about identification, identify of those things, situations, process, and different kinds of hazards. Okay, which are evolved. Okay, so okay, just a second. 10 o'clock రండి. హలో, నేను ఉంటాను. So here we have this hazard identification technique. Okay, first thing what we have to do is we have to identify the hazards. So this is the main crucial step in risk assessment. Fine. So why the hazards should be found out? Why we have to find out the hazards? Why hazards are to be found? So if we can know the appropriate hazards in any situations, the situation can be free from unsafe conditions or unsafe actions. Okay, so now I would like to quote a very important steps, which are 5 main important steps called which are a part of risk assessment. It goes like this. Okay, first thing you have to do is identify the hazards. So whatever work or whatever scenario you're going to uh, found you are going to take into control, or you are just having a motto that to make that situation, to make the things process in a safe way. Okay, so what you have to do, you have to first identify the hazards. Only when you identify the hazards, you can identify who might be harmed and how. What is the second one? When the hazards are identified, you can identify who might be harmed and how. So after identifying who might be harmed and how, what is the third step? You have to analyze the risk. So in what way, what is the likelihood and severity in the way he gets uh, affected, or that situation gets affected? That is the third one. Okay, what is the fourth one?
What is likelihood and severity?
I'll just say you, sir. I'll just say you. We'll go into that. So likelihood is a probability of an event to occur. Okay, if it is a hole, if there is a pit on the surface, if the pit is on a pedestrian path where the people are walking often, the likelihood of that the likelihood of something to happen corner there is a water, or there are sharp objects. Okay, so if you fall inside the water, the severity will be less. If you fall inside the sharp objects, the severity will be more. So the combination of these two uh, gives the analysis of risk. Okay, so for example, one person is working on scaffolding where there are rocks beneath him. Okay, so other person is working on the same scaffolding, but there is water beneath him. So what is the severity? He is working what is the severity of his fall? If he falls, the person who falls on rock will die immediately, right? If a person falls into water, if he is with a life jacket, he may sustain. The severity is less. Okay, severity always depends upon the consequence of an accident. Okay, so likelihood will have a calculation how likely the condition or the situation is not proper. Okay, fine. How likely a person can get injury. Okay, that's how what we take it as likelihood into severity. So first lines, see that is the fourth point what I want to quote, and the fifth point is after giving appropriate control measures. See, fourth point is giving control after risk assessment. We'll give appropriate control measures. After giving appropriate control measures, what we'll do? We'll have the reduce in the risk. Yes or no? Yes or no? The risk
Yes,
will be
sir.
reduced. First thing is five steps clear గా గుర్తుపెట్టుకోవాలి. ఫస్ట్ థింగ్ ఏంటంటే హజార్డ్ ఐడెంటిఫికేషన్ అనేది రావాలి. రిస్క్ అసెస్మెంట్ బేసిక్ ఫండా ఏంటంటే hazard identification అనేది రావాలి. hazard identification అనేది రావాలంటే you have to know what are the different kinds of hazards in workplace environment, in confined space what is the hazards, in work at height what are the hazards, hot work area what are the hazards, not only that in any process industry what are the hazards. So because of this you have the safety engineering 3 which only concentrate on different kinds of industries and different types of hazards in it. Okay, so why we have to, what is the main motto, why we are doing risk assessment, what is the what
To
is the
reduce the
prime
risk
To
to reduce the
reduce the
accident,
risk.
We
to
have to
prevent
identify the hazards first.
yes yes what is my objective,
to prevent the
objective?
accidents.
Yes, to prevent accidents. Very good. To what our main objective is to prevent accidents. To main objective is to bring down the risk to acceptable limit. You cannot bring down the risk to zero. So even nowadays they're saying zero risk analysis also, but bringing down the risk to zero is highly impossible because whatever preventive or additional control measures, superficial control measures you give, so at the ending everything depends upon the behavioral matter of the particular person. Behavioral issues comes into, you cannot estimate the human mind, what, how it is, how it can change in a factor of time. So sometimes they say that the zero risk is also possible, but it is very tough. Zero risk bringing down the risk to zero is very tough. Fine, see I'm getting someone is writing on the snapshot paper and that is not fair. Please don't mark on the, please do not mark on your screens. I can able to see that. Please. Okay, if you can erase it, erase. Okay, thank you so much. Fine.
Sir,
So
after existing control, the severity will not reduce. Only the likelihood is reduced. That is correct,
see,
sir?
yes. So what is the when we talk, when we are saying about likelihood is reduced, what happens? The combination, if it is likelihood is the probability of fall is very high. Example, if we have given 3 because it is in the pedestrian path, so the severity will be like 2. So 6 will be the starting risk number starting. After giving additional control measures, what happens? Likelihood will reduce, so the risk will reduce. So because we instead of 3 we will keep only 1, so 1 into 2, so we'll have a risk of 2 if it is under 3. Okay, if a combination is under 3 it is acceptable. Okay,
Sir,
fine.
why cannot we reduce the severity, sir?
See, it depends. See, for example, severity, we can reduce the severity also. We can reduce severity by providing the nets, but the severity depends upon the available techniques. Okay, see, you cannot just
If we have any engineering control measures, of course, severity can be
Yes.
reduced.
and yes, as what the gentleman said, engineering control measures, and that's a hierarchy of controls. So to decrease the severity, okay, sometimes what happens, you have to plan from the design stage itself. Okay, not from the operational stage. Okay, so for example, we have given full body harness to the person who is working on a slab. Okay, we have kept lifeline to him about the shoulder level. We have given full body harness. That's a case study what we are doing now. So after giving full body harness, everything is fine. He has a toe board handrail. There is no necessary to provide a net for him. Okay, so you need not bring down the severity to 0. You should be bringing down it to the acceptable limit. Okay, you need not provide the net. So you bringing down the severity depends upon the area where you're working and how far you given the control measure. Even though your control measures are posing some kind of hazards, then you will have a severity matrix or severity to bring it down. It depends upon the type of work you are doing. You cannot always give complete safety measures to all the planes. If you are providing full body harness, okay, if you are if it is required, you can provide a net. But if it is not required, he is in a sufficient amount of height, and if he's having a toe board, handrail, and distance, in that purpose, there is no need to provide a net. Even if you provide that, it will be a waste of time. Okay, in that way you have to calculate whether you have to consider the likelihood or severity. Okay, but as you said, severity also can be reduced in depending upon the analysis what you're doing. It depends upon the work and how he is, at what extent level the risk is reduced. If you find that okay, the risk is still existing, if you find that risk is still existing after giving control measures, then additional control measures are given to reduce the likelihood and severity. Okay, fine. So after likelihood
Sir.
and severity, please tell me.
Sir, this risk assessment, can you do alone, or this is a teamwork?
No.
This is
See, you
always
have
teamwork.
yes, you cannot do risk assessment alone. You should not do that alone. Should not do that alone, because
Risk assessment should be done competent person only.
yes. We have discussed recently in FEMA that the different people from different departments also can be involved. Okay, intercommunication should be done. Okay, so if you are doing a risk assessment of cement industry, so what is the main motto? What is the raw material of cement industry? Gypsum. Okay, so I'm taking the example, just example. Okay, so there should be a competent person or chemical person who knows the exact hazards or exact gases or the dust concentration, PM molecules, how it is affecting the people in work environment. So you will take input from him. That's one of the hazards. Dust, fumes, I mean dust. What is the particulate matter? Okay, what are the hazard of that particular dust, gypsum? So how it is very risky? What are the areas it is getting emitted? So what are the control measures we have? Okay, so what is the risk? In that way, we'll decide from the particular person. If he is worker, he'll be giving you some inputs. As a safety person, you'll see about ventilation, humidification, humidity, wet methods. Okay, and just example I'm giving. So in this way, each and every person should have a thorough knowledge on different aspects. If you are doing the civil construction industries, so on the initial stages, I hope you people know about like deep or deep foundation and shallow foundation. Any from civil? See, if you are a safety person, you should have knowledge on everything, but you should have a clear analysis. See, for example, a building has been constructed, deep foundation, shallow foundation. You know that deep foundation means pilings. Okay, there are different kinds of piles also. Shallow means if what found the foundation, what we do in our for our homes. See, when we dig into deep, we'll keep a basement down. The depth, the length, depth is the pillar length will be lesser than the width of the basement. That is what deep shallow foundation. Deep foundation. I will see into that when construction safety comes. So depending upon the priorities, okay, we have to make the risk and assessment. Okay, so I've given a brief overview of it. So let's go into it. Fine. So after identification is made, you analyze and evaluate how likely and severe the risk is. See what he's saying. How likely and severe the risk is means what is the probability of the risk to occur and how much severity it is posing. When this determination is made, you can next decide what measures to be in place to effectively eliminate or control the harm from happening. So to give appropriate control measures, to give in a control measures in effective way. So because giving control measures effectively makes your risk assessment a standard. Okay, so in order to give that, you have to determine in what way the risk is existing and what are the measures to be placed. Okay, implemented.
Sir, how to calculate severity?
See, severity, I'll be showing the severity table. Just a minute. Just a minute. I'll be just accessing. We'll just clear the doubt of itself. Okay. See, did you understand our example? What we have told, what we have discussed. See, previously, like we have spoke about. Just a minute. I'm going to share a screen now. Just have a look at it. Oh my God, just a minute. See, so what did you understand? Like if you have a two scenarios, we have discussed the two scenarios, right? So can you see the screen? Potential causes, likelihood. Yes. So please look into it clearly. What you can see? You can see likelihood and potential causes. Potential causes means severity. We'll take it as severity. Okay. The consequences. Sorry. Consequences. Potential consequences means that which has a. What do you mean by potential? Potential means which has a tendency, which has a we can also say before happening something. Okay, it has
Chances.
a chance. Okay, strength or chance or probability to something may to cause something. Okay, fine. So
Imminent
here you can,
danger.
yes, imminent danger to life and death. Okay. So likelihood, what you have seen here, it is almost certain. It's here we can say you can give the numbers here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, you can see my cursor, right? You can give the numbers like 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Almost certain. See, almost certain means you have to give the rating 5. Okay, from down you can give. Okay, this is the example of risk matrix from where you'll decide the severity. Okay, if what is the severity? If it is fatality, you'll give severe. It is very severe. The number will be very high. Okay, if you give 5, okay, and the risk is 3, the likelihood is 3, and if you give the severity 5, what happens? 15. That's very high, right? It's very
But
high.
sir, here, sir, after giving control measure, how we can put sir 5 and 3?
That's what
Because you
I'm saying.
cannot
See,
work.
after giving control measures, again you will calculate the risk. See,
Yes.
risk analysis is done before control measure, and our objective is to calculate the risk after control measure also. Okay, that is how you finalize that after giving control measures. That's the main objective of control measures. Okay, you will determine that it came to the lower level. So then you will move forward and have a clear cut review. Okay, whether everything is in a proper way or not. Okay, so see. See, I hope you understood
Sir,
our example.
Actually, risk assessment is doing on routine works or non-routine works?
I didn't get you. What? Please
Sir,
tell me again.
risk assessment is doing on routine or non-routine works?
Doing on?
Routine works or non-routine works?
See, risk assessment is done for every routine work. If there is a change in the process, okay, you have to do before starting that routine work. You have to do if it is a new work in your company that you have to do. Okay, and there is a new work or new machinery which is been attached to the existing machinery, then you have to do any change in the process. You have to do. Okay, yeah, and the second thing, if something happens, an incident happened in your workplace, in an existing place, already
Sir,
where the
I
risk
think
assessment is
it
there.
is reviewed yearly once.
Yes,
Yearly
it should
once.
be
If
reviewed. It should
suppose,
be reviewed.
yes, it should be reviewed every month, every yearly once. If suppose anything happened, it should be reviewed before that reviewed date.
Yes, if you have to be updated, if some incident happened, you have to update the existing controls. You have to see what went wrong, and you have to review that risk assessment. Okay. Fine. So is
So
it
some
clear, sir?
disturbance is there.
I'm just muting the call. I don't know why. Mute. Fine. So here we have the definitions. Okay, the overall process of hazard identification, risk analysis, and risk evaluation. See clearly what he has told here. The overall process. Okay, here what he is saying. Risk assessment is a combination of hazard identification, analysis, and evaluation. Overall process. So one person is asking. So is it risk analysis quantitative or qualitative? It is risk analysis is qualitative when you see only the sentences, or when you not calculate, when you don't calculate anything. See, we have seen the likelihood, which is severe, okay, which is moderate, that is qualitative. Okay, quantitative means giving numbers to it. Usually risk analysis we give numbers, risk matrix. Okay, we'll go into that. I'll show you the risk matrix. Fine. Risk assessment is the overall process of hazard identification. Risk. Fine. Hazard identification, the process of finding, listing, and characterizing hazards. So before going to hazard identification, so what is the main motto? What do you mean by hazard? What do you mean by hazard?
Anything which has
Anything which can
potential to
cause
harm.
Potential to harm.
Yes, yes, very good, very good. People, very nice. So anything that has potential to cause harm in terms of injury, in terms of property damage, or in terms of environmental damage. Okay, so that comes under hazard. Fine. So here, every hazard has to be identified. To identify every hazard, you have to know the proper. See, you will divide the works into different categories, and each and every category has a hazard. Each and every work category has hazard. Based on the hazard, the risk is involved. So if you can determine the different kinds of hazards and different kinds of workplace scenarios, you can definitely be the person who can analyze the risk in an appropriate way. To do that, you should have a particular experience. And I have told a few students, not experienced people, to work in this way. Like, take different kinds of works: work at height, cold work, hot work, excavation. Okay, and also what are the other works? Hot work, excavation, cold work,
Confined space.
confined space,
Confined space, radiography.
yes, radiography. Take these works, divide it, and just write down the hazards. That's all. Don't write anything except hazards. If you can write 10 hazards for every work, okay, then you can you can see what can be the consequences based on the work environment. Okay, if a painting is being done, okay, if a painting is being done, if there is a hot work is being done at a time, so what happens? There may be a chances of fire. So in that way, fine. Yes. So 8 minutes. Risk analysis we are doing, the process of comprehending the nature of hazards and determine the level of risk. Level of risk means what he's saying. He's saying the level of risk. Level of risk means what is the numerical, what is the quantitative part. So how we can get the level of risk? By determining, we can get the level of likelihood into severity. Okay, so in that way, yes. So risk evaluation. So how after we have to evaluate how much we'll evaluate. How we'll evaluate? We'll see. Okay, by giving the number that how much likely the process the something may get wrong, and what is the severity. Risk evaluated, whether it can be controlled or not will based on the risk controls. Okay, so Fine. I hope everyone gets back in time. So I heard that there is a lot of yesterday someone has not admitted properly. If you don't get admitted, just call me up to my number. Okay, 7981037813 immediately. Okay, 7981037813. If you have a connection problem. Yesterday I got a information that most of the people are not getting connected. I don't know. Yesterday it's okay with my signal. Fine. Okay, 7981037813. That's my number. You can call me up immediately and I'll just connect it. Fine. Fine. So coming to the why risk assessment is important. Yes, I can share the PPT. You can take it from. Okay, I've texted my number also. Fine. Okay. Why risk assessment is important? Why it is important? So it creates awareness. Okay, it creates awareness of hazards, and it will reduce the risk. The main important thing is it will reduce the risk to acceptable limit, and it may prevent accidents. So it is also important to identify who might be harmed. Okay, so whether it is also can take a we can take it as if a particular hazard is there, whether we have to take control program, how extend the control program to be. For example, we have spoken about the dust. So how extent one has to be aware of that dust. So what are the programs we have to conduct? Trainings, okay, awareness sections, boards, signage boards that shows the effects and causes of so and so dust if you're working it. So all that can determine. Okay, existing control measures. We can also have a idea on whether existing
These
control
all are
measures
admin controls, I think, sir.
yes sir, administrative usually sir. As what you have quoted is very good. In the hierarchy of controls we have elimination, which we have we have to choose
Elimination,
whether we can completely
substitution.
yes
Yes,
please,
engineering control, admin
Yes.
control, and PPE. That is called hierarchy.
hierarchy of controls. So usually NEBOSH will take it as IRIC PD and different kinds of synonyms we'll use. So we can eliminate that. We'll see if we cannot eliminate that, then we can see whether we can isolate that, we can reduce that, otherwise we can isolate that, otherwise we can substitute it with another one. Okay, after even if substitution is not possible, then you will say isolation. It depends, sir. Depends upon the work environment and also machinery, what we are doing on. If it is nothing is possible, we have a last option, PPE and also discipline. After PPE, we should have a control of discipline. So if people abide by the rules what we have. I don't know. Fine. So prevent injuries or illness. Okay, this is the why risk assessment is important. Okay, prioritize hazards and control measures. Prioritize. What do you mean by prioritize? You have to know what are the high potential hazards. What are the hazards? If for example, he's working on work at height, what is the hazard? What is the high priority hazards? Fall from height is a hazard. Using tools without toolkit, I mean tool holders, that's a priority hazard. If he uses that kind of way, the tool may fall onto the person. Barricading from the moving vehicles, that is the prioritized hazards. Why? The people who are working at height, the scaffolding should be barricaded with an enough distance. It should not be under the turning radius of a vehicles. Okay, not only straight, the turning radius of a vehicle should be in such a way that even if it's rear side of the vehicle should have a clear cut turn. The jersey barriers should be placed in such a way that the rear side of the vehicle is not coming in contact with the scaffolding structure. In that way you have to analyze. Fine, that's how the hazards are prioritized. Okay, so prevent injuries or illness, especially when done. Fine. Meet legal requirements where applicable. Okay, as per the dock safety, or if you're working near the shores. So what, as per SOLAS standards, safety of life at sea, usually when a ship is getting ship betting is going on, they follow some standards called safety of life at sea, SOLAS standards. After the ship is if you're doing this legal requirements, like there should be a life buoy, gangway should be kept in a proper way. Okay, all the cranes should be in a boom up condition when the ship is coming into the bed. There should be proper communication contact between the captain and the SIC, shift in charge. So these are the requirements, standard requirements where you cannot deviate. Okay, we have, fine. What, this is the simple thing. What is the aim? Our aim is to reduce of accidents, and it's a simple thing. Okay, risk assessment process, evaluate hazards. See, always remember 5 steps. Okay, you visualize in such a way that risk, it means first hazards column is there. Risk assessment means first there is a column of hazards, second there is a column of who might be harmed and how. Okay, and then there will be a column of risk matrix, likelihood into severity, and there is a risk rating, and there is a column of control measures. Okay, see, you divide. Imagine after control measures the risk is reduced. Some people keep the risk reduced column also. Okay, and after risk is reduced, the people usually there is standardized like additional control measures, if any, already existing, if any additional control measures. Because why we keep additional control measures? Because if there is a change in the process, they update that. Okay, after additional control measures, we'll see in what way risk is reduced, find the additional control measures, and then we'll see, we'll conclude like review column. Okay, I'll be showing the risk assessment, real-time risk assessment in coming section. Okay, this all complete PPE. See, this is what the identification of hazards. See,